Welcome back to another video in Delta Fleet Flight School How to Fly the Razorbill. Today we will be looking at destroying a level 1 island in the daylight without scouting ahead of time. Now, something else that I haven't mentioned before, but let's say you have a lot of aircraft operating around the carrier. This petrel is returning from a mission right now carrying a vehicle, but it's first going to have to wait because we are going to launch a Razorbill. And this is usually better than waiting for an aircraft to land before launching new aircraft, because aircraft take off very quickly but land very slowly. So to make the most of our time, we're going to launch aircraft before others land. So to set up our waypoints for this island, I'm going to set it at 800 meters altitude to be within firing range of enemy units, but not too close to actually get hit. And we're going to circle the island so that we can attract attention from any units that we don't spot initially. All of this while waiting for our virus vehicle to deploy, which I don't have one yet, so let's really quickly set one up. We see that this petrel is also firing on some units on the island with its autocannon, which is okay. This video is focusing mostly on how to spot ground targets in the daytime without the enemy headlights helping you. We're setting our seal to capture the command center, deploying its fire spots, and then returning to the carrier when it's finished. So all that means is that our main priority in this Razorbill is to keep that seal alive. We're going to enter manual flight mode, activate all of our autocannons, and start searching for little pixels on the ground that might indicate an enemy vehicle, and flashes from their muzzles as they try to fire on us. There we go, that's the first one down. Our AI gunner and our extra autocannon turret is helping us spot targets. We see there's a convoy of 3 vehicles here. We're going to give them a nice long burst, and there's all 3 down. We see more fire from tracers going across our screen from the right. We see these 2 pixels sitting here. We've just gotten hit with a 15mm round. That's okay. We're still at about 66% health. Now we see a lot of flashes going on from here on the left. Those units below us are too low to hit, so we'll just hit the ones up here on the cliff and not overcommit to a single target. We're going to go around for another pass. And at the same time, I'm going to look over here to the right to see if we can spot any more enemies and just get a more clear picture of what we're actually dealing with. Now you may be wondering, what about that seal that we launched just now? Aren't we supposed to be protecting it? Well, that seal still has to go through the ocean and get all the way to the island and take enough damage to be destroyed before it's actually very seriously threatened. Now, here's these things on islands called ramps that enemy units will always get bunched up on, and those are great places to kill a lot of drones at once. So we focused on that group rather than focusing on the closest target to the center of our screen. And that has made our job a lot easier, because we are most likely to get hit when we are targeted by more vehicles. So now we just have this one to deal with. We're aiming below the target because we're moving forward, and that momentum is carrying our bullets up the screen. Very gently lining up our shot, doing a short controlled bursts. Oh, here's another vehicle going across the sand, and there's little smoke trails coming up from behind it too that give it away. And we also see that there are tracers coming from our right, so let's roll to the right and see where that's coming from. And it looks like we have vehicles sitting here on this little island in the center. We also get some information about our friendly virus seal bot. It's at full health right now, so that means it's doing good. We also see that there are no bullets being fired at it from around the map, which means no enemies have targeted it yet, and we are still good to focus on these enemies over here. Now I saw there was one more vehicle earlier that was shooting at us, and here it is. And it's dead now. So now we've destroyed all of the targets that we currently see. So we can go to this screen and look to see if any of our units have been spotted. And that's going to be represented by a flashing red exclamation point next to the friendly unit. So now we can either sit here and wait to see if either the virus seal or the Razorbill comes under attack, but this is usually faster to do if we simply get into our Razorbill and fly around manually. And at lower altitudes, it can be a little easier for the enemy vehicles to see you, especially if they're tucked up against cliffs or hiding in tunnels. So we're just going to fly around at low altitude for an extra minute or two to make sure that nothing on this island is still active or alive. Now preferably, you want to do these attacks at nighttime because, as you can probably see, it is much easier to miss or not spot an enemy unit in the daytime, simply because those headlights aren't giving every vehicle away. And as soon as those virus spots are popped at the command center, usually all ground vehicles on the island are programmed to converge on the command center and defend it from being hacked. So you also have to worry about that. So for right now, it looks like we're going to be just fine with this capture. I don't see any more units, and nothing else is showing up on screen. No red exclamation points. So let's return our Razorbill and wait to see if everything does in fact work out well. And just like that, the island is ours. So even if there are enemy units still left alive on this island, it really doesn't matter to us. They can destroy those those virus bots that you see here at the command center. They're not going to move, and they're also automatically going to self-destruct 5 minutes after having been deployed from the vehicle. So the enemy ground forces that we may have missed are completely free to destroy this if they want to. The island will still be ours, and there is no way that it can fall back into enemy hands unless you're dealing with players. And we'll cover that in a completely different video later on in this series. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.